we made it. It's been a journey. I'm not going to lie. It's been a hell of a journey. Strangely Beige did it. It did 8 million kilometers, and well, there and back again. A Hobbit's Tale, and it went quite well actually. So the decision now is, do we repurpose this back into a speed ship? We can do that because we actually created a full, there we go, blueprint. So there we go. We actually could just literally drop that right back on if we wish to. Let's do it. And this will then basically build, and we'll just leave this to basically run while that effectively is going to repurpose it all. I don't know if that's the right idea to do or not. It feels a bit stupid actually, but I think at the end of the day, it's nice to put it back to what it was, because it was a bit of a beast. But we're back. We're back on Nauvis, and I think now work begins for part 2 of Space Age. Now that we have effectively dominated the game, it's now a decision of what do we do now, because really this is like we've done all the major things that we wanted to do. And I am coming back to my kind of plan to maybe do a second mega base, because I've done mega bases before. What I've never done is 2 mega bases, and I quite like the idea of this. So let me kind of draw out what I'm thinking it could be. Is we're going to have obviously this base. We'll finish this off because this is not completely done yet. There's no fusion reactors. We've got nuclear reactors. A lot of things is kind of set as old style stuff. We have not necessarily upgraded to legendary. So there's a lot of work still to do here. But I do want to maybe start thinking of, you know, Mega Base A and Mega Base B. Now, whether or not we put it, I don't know actually. I think we're going to put it here. So I think whatever is here, we're going to explore it, we're going to discover it, we're going to destroy it, and we're going to build on it. That's kind of the process we're going to do. And I think that becomes sort of the plan really. If I look at the other worlds, Volcanus again is something that once you kill the initial worms, you don't ever go further. So I think we're going to do the same here. We're not going to build a second base, but we're going to expand this one. And I think we need to do a bit more with this one, because really the only thing we're doing with this is sort of science and a little bit of production of things like the miners. And Gleba I think is fine, but we're going to maybe expand and have some sort of hexagon outliers. So lots to do. I think Fulgora and Aquilo, question marks. Post in the comments if you think you have an idea for that, because I don't really know. I mean, Aquilo is great. Fulgora is great. I do like it. I want to try and expand some of these machines, but I think at the moment we'll come back to that. And the same with Aquilo. We probably need to move to this lithium brine. But really, I mean, look at that. What are you supposed to do with that? There's not a lot we could do. We could try and do a mega base on Aquilo. That might be quite amusing, actually. But I think we'll come back to that. But for now, I think what I really like the idea of is basically building something to the north, south, east, or west. I'm not sure yet. I think we could go this way. Maybe we look to build here. I don't know, but something pulls me here, because what we then have to do is have the rail network basically connecting these. So there is this kind of large expanse, and I like the idea of maybe not even using bridges for some of this. So it kind of goes like wonky round. But I think that's kind of what we're going to do, because I think that forms quite an interesting challenge of what really the next step of this game is. Because to be honest, we've got to a point now where we can make anything. Everything's pretty much ready for us. We've got legendary everything. What have I got on this one? Let's have a quick look. Yes, I mean, it's pretty good. So I think it's time to kind of maybe see what we can do. Let's just go and have a quick scout. So down here, let's say we went maybe here. Let's just go and scout here. So boing, 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 boing. Oh, already there is a major flaw in my plan. Can you tell what it is? That's so dominant. So I'm just going to manually do it. So basically this thing is pretty golden, really. I mean, I can't... Let's just put... There we go, missiles. I think I can't really sort of fault how this run through has gone, really. I mean, I could start another run through. I think that is something I'm going to do at some point. But I still feel there's a bit of mileage here. So, you know, we could build something like 5 by 5. That might look quite nice, and then make it look better, because this never really worked out. It's a very irregular shape. Things like that really annoy me. So maybe we just do a quick scout. Let's just see what's here. Water is a problem because obviously we don't want to build. Well, we can, terraform into water, but I'd rather try and avoid that. Let's go and see what we can find. So just looks like another peninsula, which is fine really, but I mean, let's keep going. Lots of resources, which is probably what we need. I do like the idea of having centralized resources. So for now, the priority on the resources will be set elsewhere. So it could be a train runs for 5-10 minutes to get to where it needs to, but that's the kind of base I want. I don't want it to be sort of, I don't know, sort of a bit too simple. Let's just see what we've uncovered here. Almost done. Okay, not too many biters, not terrible. I think a bit of artillery would sort these out. I think we will move artillery close, but I think for now, let's just see what we've got. Right. So, yeah, landmass. There we go, 5x5. Perfect. You couldn't ask for a better situation. And what have we got? Loads of resources. This is good. Yeah, so I think that's probably what we'll do. So we'll start to really plan out effectively. So I even have the blueprints. Let's have a look. So one. We'll keep to the grid. So one. So I think we could be looking sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lovely. We could even go down a bit. Maybe we go. Let's see. Where are we? So the middle's there. That's our hub here. So maybe we try and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, maybe let's do that. And then that gives us ability to build a basically second mega base really. Now what you have to do then I think is define the differences between the two, because there's no point just having a duplicated base. You want to have differences. So what we'll do is we'll pick a resource. Oh my gosh, I'm getting lost. We'll pick a resource that we think is the most logical one. Where the hell am I? Oh wow, okay, so maybe I just don't remember doing that, but there we go. Shows my short-term memory is pretty poor. We'll pick a resource that I think works best to eliminate from here and have built over here. And it could be rocket parts. And maybe that's what we do. So all the rocket part production happens here. So iron and copper trains come here, and then basically stuff is made, and then it kind of shuttles back and forward. And then this delivers rocket parts here. Why are we doing this? Completely pointless. It's just one of those things, like people find things to do in all games like Minecraft and stuff like that. This is just another one of those things which says let's have a little bit of a challenge to see if we can maybe make a second mega base. But I also like the idea of outposts. I'll give you an idea of what I mean. So on Gleba, for example, if I go to my Gleba book, let's just pick, I think it's that one. We could have, like, we've got a mega base here. God knows what's happening there. Is that spoilage? Yeah, spoilage. So we could, for example, go and say, okay, we're going to build then a ring here to do something. And it's all about kind of making it so that you don't just have everything produced in the borders, if that makes sense. Because I think the things like the farms are a real miss, because I do think they're so close together that you just use conveyors. And I know that's what you have to do, but there should be some sort of soil richness that as you go, the soil gets like worse and it doesn't produce as much. So you have to expand. It's a bit like resource patches on Nauvis. I think missing that out has meant that you don't really have the same thing. Let's just check on Strangely Beige. Oh my days, it's going well. I think it's even producing fuel. Look at that. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's stupid to do that. I think it's kind of fun actually, but we are running out of railguns. That sucks. We need to go and get some more. This ship, just to kind of maybe just to give a quick synopsis of what this thing just did, was incredible. It was perfectly fine. If I go to maybe consumption, let's just look at some of this, because I found it quite interesting. So if I go to rockets, for example, so that's the first little test I did. That's the second little test I did. So that was about 500,000 kilometers. That was about 1 million kilometers. And then this was the 4 and then 4, so 8 in total. Fascinating, right? I found that really interesting. So like, for example, railgun rounds, you could see it plateaus here. I don't know why it did that. Couldn't tell you. And same here, I don't know why it did that. So post in the comments if you know. It suggests that there was a denser bit, then you go through it, and then you work back through it. Maybe, I don't know, but I found it very interesting. I don't know why it did that. But you can see it was an interesting kind of thing, really. I mean, 1.7 million rockets to have been used is just incredible to me. Like that's amazing. So I think this has really been an interesting run through, but I think I've had enough of platforms for a while. So the idea, I mean, again, when you think of all the things that you do for enjoyment, the idea of building, oh, that's not good. Let's have a quick check of that. The idea of building something on the ground, using railways, doing all the things that I kind of enjoy, I could see this being quite a fun challenge. And I like the idea of sort of little outposts. Maybe that's what we do, is we outsource some of the production. So, for example, let's say green chips, just because we landed on it. Well, we don't do green chips. We've actually removed that one. We outsource them down here because we made this. Well, there's nothing stopping us putting this absolutely anywhere, because all it takes is liquid copper and liquid iron. So why not put that absolutely anywhere? And you can see it's not quite running very well either. So, you know what I mean? It's like there's times maybe feels like one of those times to maybe improve the base somewhat. And I do think, particularly when it comes to things like Gleba as well, it's a bit sort of centralized. I mean, pentapods are interesting. I think they're really interesting enemies, and I'd like to have done more with them. But again, it just feels like once you've built a base, that's it. I mean, the spores that don't seem to be sort of pulling in pentapod attacks, maybe down here a tiny bit, but it doesn't feel like there's actually too much there. And Fulgora, I think Fulgora is probably my favorite place, because I just love the concept of trash sorting, you know, splitting it, destroying it, and then building from it. I mean, this machine was a joy. The Great Holmium machine. If you haven't seen the video, go watch the video. I really enjoyed building this, because to me this is exactly my kind of style, is building something that has a little bit of design. So here, for example, we can run a full belt of fuel blocks, and then any surplus is just being destroyed. I love it. I just think this is great. I could sit and watch these all day. And the other one over here, this one is doing the Holmium plate. So again, it's just constantly running. So at some point, this trash is going to run out. This scrap, rather, is going to basically, you know, deplete. So we then have to move to somewhere else. But, you know, I like that. But I just still think it needs an ambient threat here or something, which there just wasn't, which is a shame. I think that was a real miss. Because biters on this planet are a pain, you know, when they start to mass. So if we look at our pollution, I mean, we've pushed them pretty much as far away as we need to. Little bit here maybe, but, you know, not massive. Even down here, I mean, the pollution from these things, because they just seldom run, because the whole factory is barely running on much anger at all. There's not a lot being produced at the moment. So this is where I think, you know, science is like, okay, fine, we're doing science, but does feel as if there's not a huge amount happening. So anyway, there we go. So I think with Strangely Beige particularly, we need to repurpose this ship now to be the Prometheum ship, because again, if we sort of show here, oh, okay, wow, okay, so we have a slight problem here. I've actually clicked the button to bring in pentapod eggs and we filled up on science, which is great, because that's cool. Well, let's just stop that. Oh no, see, that's weird. Why have I got biter eggs on board then? I can't understand that, but there we go. Let's just drop some of these science packs and get rid of those eggs, because I don't want them hatching. Let's just drop them all. Wonderful thing about large ships is you can just do loads like that. So there we go. Ah, okay, what's happened here? Oh my days, like literally, I just don't know why it's done that. Why would it do that? Why did it suddenly pick up iron? Where did the iron come from? Like, seriously, I can't work. It's like this game confuses me at times. Like, there's no way that iron suddenly got on the thing. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So we'll just allow that Prometheum to reduce. Let's just go and see how much we actually had. So I have my little Prometheum gauge here. So 28,000 units. That's going to take a while to basically churn through. But I'm good. I'm good with it. I quite like that this has worked quite well. So there we go. So I think that's the plan. We'll start to sort of put some preliminary tracking down. I think we know that we're going to build something here. Let's just plant a little flag. Base number 2. Plock. So that's where our base number 2 is going to be. I think we'll even do some outposts maybe down here as well. But I am excited. I think this is kind of now feels like the burden of trying to get to the shattered planet is done now. And I'm kind of at that point where I feel like, okay, now I can kind of play the game I want to play. because I did spend months trying to get, well, weeks really, trying to get a platform that basically could do it. Now I've kind of done it, I'm a bit like, oh my days, I just want to like play the game and enjoy it now. So, you know, one day you can just decide to go to Fulgora and mess about there. That's kind of what I want to do. But I do think the mega base is important to me. Like, I never finished Nauvis, as I've said. So I want to finish this, make it a proper, you know, maybe not a square, but certainly a rectangle. Put defences all the way around it, because that's what you do. And then really just start to look at what more can we do to sort of, I don't know, increment and improve the game that we've created, because so much of it still is based on like old, like common tech. So it might be an idea to start looking at some of that as well. But there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. I mean, we'll probably start this series imminently. I'm still managing a very small puppy, so that's taking a huge amount of my time. But I must admit, it's a wonderful thing. So definitely, you know, thumbs up to pets. But I think in the meantime, let's end there, and we'll see you next time.